Imagine this: after dedicating your entire life to raising your child, making every sacrifice to ensure their success, you find yourself facing rejection when you need them the most. You've worked tirelessly, given up your career, and even sacrificed your personal happiness for their well-being. And then, when life throws you a curveball, you lose your job, but instead of compassion and support, your son calls you a burden and asks you to leave his home. How would you feel? Betrayed? Heartbroken? Or maybe you'd finally realize that the years of giving everything to your family weren't appreciated the way you expected. Well, this story is exactly what happened to one mother who for 30 years gave up everything for her son, only to be cast aside when she could no longer provide for him. But here's the twist. What her son didn't know was that this mother had a secret that would change everything. She had a hidden fortune that no one, especially her ungrateful son, knew about. This isn't just a story of betrayal. It's a story of empowerment, of standing up for yourself when everyone else sees you as just a source of income. It's about how one moment of clarity, fueled by years of sacrifice, can transform your life and your future. In this video, we'll uncover how this mother took control of her life, cut ties with the family that never respected her, and made a powerful decision that would forever alter her path. If you've ever felt like your kindness or sacrifices were taken for granted, this story will resonate with you. So, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand the powerful lesson this mother learned, but you'll also see how one decision, just one moment, can change everything for you. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be inspired to make a change in your own life. As the years passed, the mother's sacrifices grew heavier. She was the silent pillar of the family, giving everything she had so that her son, Ethan, could have a life of comfort and opportunity. She poured her heart into raising him, even when it meant giving up her own dreams, personal happiness, and well-being. She worked multiple jobs to pay for his education, nursed him through illnesses, and put every dollar she earned into giving him the best life possible. But her sacrifices, though immeasurable, seemed to go unnoticed. In her son's eyes, she was just a caretaker, a silent figure in the background, doing the work no one else wanted to do. She didn't mind. She loved him with all her heart. And she believed that, one day, he would understand everything she did for him. But then, everything changed. One day, she lost her job. She had given her life to working for her employer, a woman who had respected and appreciated her dedication. But that was over now. With no steady income, she decided to return home, thinking she could finally spend some time resting and helping her son and his wife, Nicole, who were planning to start a family. She had dreams of easing their stress, offering support during Nicole's pregnancy, and helping out around the house. She hoped to be there for her son during a time that required family, love, and connection. But what greeted her was nothing short of devastating. Her son, Ethan, looked at her as though she were a stranger when she told him about the job loss. His face flushed with anger, his words sharp as a dagger. "Why would you suddenly quit? That was $8 a month. What are you planning to do now? Just sit around, freeloading?" The sting of those words cut deeper than any physical pain she had ever felt. How could he, after everything she had done for him, see her like this? A burden? A freeloader? And then, just as she was trying to explain, his wife Nicole chimed in with her harsh words, dismissing her even further. "Postpartum recovery requires professional care," she said with a scoff. "You used to work as a housekeeper. What would you know about taking care of a newborn?" It wasn't just the disrespect, it was the complete dismissal of her value as a person. It was the pain of realizing that the family she had given everything for didn't see her as a mother, but as a tool to maintain their comfortable lives. But it wasn't just words that stung. It was the cold, calculating way Ethan and Nicole saw her as a cash machine. They had never truly seen her. They never saw her sacrifices. To them, she was only useful when she was working and providing. When she no longer fit into their picture of what she should be, she was tossed aside. She was heartbroken, yes, but more than that, she was furious. How could they be so blind? How could they not see the years of love, devotion, and selflessness that had gone into everything she had done? And how could Ethan, her own son, treat her like this? As the conversation went on, and the tension mounted. A sudden realization dawned on her. She had been so wrapped up in trying to please them, in trying to be the perfect mother, that she had forgotten one critical thing: her own worth. She had spent so many years sacrificing her own happiness and well-being for their benefit. But what had she received in return? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then, in that moment of clarity, something shifted within her. This wasn't just about losing her job. It wasn't just about her son's disrespect or her daughter-in-law's condescension. It was about something far greater: her own self-respect. The truth was, she had never been a burden. She had only ever been seen as one because she had allowed herself to be treated that way. But now, she was done. She was done sacrificing her happiness for people who didn't appreciate her. She was done allowing herself to be used as a tool for their financial comfort. She was done being invisible. And that's when the bombshell dropped. Her late employer, who had respected her work and dedication, had left her a fortune. A fortune that no one, especially Ethan, knew about. She had never mentioned it because she didn't want to be seen as someone relying on money to earn love or respect. But now, the truth was out, and she would make sure her son realized that the price of betraying her was far greater than he could ever imagine. She had the power to walk away from all of it. She could have gone back to the same old life of servitude. She could have continued working herself to the bone for a family that saw her as nothing more than a paycheck. But no, this was her moment of freedom. She had spent 58 years living for everyone else. And now, it was time for her to live for herself. With her new fortune, she didn't need to rely on anyone. She didn't need to go back to work for them. She didn't need to sacrifice her health, her happiness, or her peace of mind. She could finally rest, finally be free. But even in her newfound empowerment, the journey wasn't easy. When Ethan found out about the inheritance, his attitude shifted from indifference to desperation. He begged his mother to come back and help him and his wife. He wanted her to resume her role as the provider, to continue subsidizing their lifestyle. But the mother had learned an invaluable lesson. Her value was not in what she could give them. It was in who she was. And she had given enough. With calm resolve, she turned her back on the family that had discarded her. She refused to be their ATM, their caretaker, or their scapegoat anymore. In the end, the story wasn't about the money. It was about reclaiming her life. It was about standing up for herself, taking control of her destiny, and choosing to live her own truth, even when it meant walking away from the very people she had given everything to. As this mother's journey comes to an end, we are left with an important lesson: the importance of knowing your own worth. She spent decades sacrificing for her son and his family, only to realize that her love and care had been taken for granted. But the moment she realized she deserved better, when she stood up for herself and walked away from the toxic cycle, her life was transformed. She reclaimed her power, her happiness, and ultimately, her peace. This story isn't just about financial independence. It's about self-respect, the courage to set boundaries, and the strength to say no when it matters most. She was able to do something many of us struggle with: putting herself first. And it's a reminder to all of us: you are not defined by what you can give to others. You are defined by your values, your dignity, and how you treat yourself. Now, think about your own life. Have you ever felt unappreciated or taken advantage of by someone close to you? Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you had to give everything, but in return, you received nothing but disrespect? What did you do about it? I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts, experiences, and reflections in the comments below. This is a safe space for us to connect, learn from one another, and support each other. Have you ever had a wake-up moment where you realized your worth? How did you handle it? Let's talk about it. And while you're here, if this video resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone you think could benefit from hearing this story. You never know, your one share could change someone's life and encourage them to stand up for themselves. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. I bring new stories, life lessons, and empowering content every week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the next video where we dive even deeper into the power of self-empowerment and personal growth. Also, if this video inspired you, don't forget to like it and leave your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement means the world to me. And it helps me create even more content that matters to you. I want to hear your stories, your struggles, and your victories, so let's keep the conversation going. Remember, it's never too late to take control of your life and live for yourself. You deserve happiness, respect, and all the good things life has to offer. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.